Most people believe that real transformation requires long conversations, therapy sessions, or external help. We've been conditioned to think that deep healing only happens when we talk it out, when we analyze our past, and when we dig through years of mental baggage. But what if the most profound breakthroughs didn't come from thinking more, but from thinking less? What if silence, stillness, and breath could reach deeper into your subconscious than any words ever could? There exists a technique so ancient and yet so potent that it doesn't rely on speech, medication, or analysis. It bypasses language completely. It's rooted in stillness, not the kind of stillness that's passive or lazy, but an active stillness that demands your presence, discipline, and attention. It's a form of internal mastery where the real power lies not in doing more, but in doing less with greater intensity. And while it may sound simple, this simplicity is precisely what makes it so powerful and so easily dismissed. The mind is loud. It races with thoughts, distractions, fears, and judgments. In our modern world, we're constantly bombarded with stimuli that keep us locked in our heads. But the body, your nervous system, your breath, your posture, is where real change begins. That's the part we forget, that's the piece we ignore, and that's where this technique begins its work. It starts with the breath. A slow, controlled inhale deep into the belly, followed by a deliberate, extended exhale. This isn't just about relaxation. This breath work changes your chemistry. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system, telling your brain, you're safe, you can let go now. The body responds by calming the heart rate, reducing cortisol, and improving mental clarity. Over time, your brain rewires itself to handle stress differently, not through willpower, through physiology. Stillness amplifies this process. When you hold your body in a state of poised stillness, calm, grounded, alert, your awareness sharpens. You begin to notice what was previously invisible, the subtle tension in your shoulders, the tightness in your chest, the clenching in your jaw. These are physical manifestations of emotional pain that words often fail to uncover. By remaining still and breathing through these sensations, you release what years of talking sometimes cannot. This is not meditation as most people know it. It is not the passive escape into thoughtlessness. It is an embodied stillness, where attention is directed not to the outside world or imaginary thoughts, but to the internal rhythm of breath and energy. It is the kind of stillness that teaches your mind to follow your body, not the other way around. And here lies the hidden power. You are no longer controlled by your emotions. You are aware of them. You can observe them without reacting. You learn to stay with discomfort instead of fleeing it. You don't need to analyze the why behind every feeling. You simply need to feel it fully and let your body process it naturally. That's why this brain hack, though simple, is so effective. It doesn't rely on theories. It uses nature. It uses what you already have, your breath, your body, your awareness. And when you practice this with consistency, your entire mental operating system begins to shift. Not through force, but through stillness. Not by escaping the mind, but by rooting yourself deeper in the body. This is the path to unshakable clarity, and it begins in silence. This brain hack was quietly sidelined, and in some circles almost banned, not because it was dangerous or unproven, but because it disrupted the established way therapy usually works. The truth is, it works too well and too fast, shaking the foundations of what many in the mental health field have come to expect and rely on. Therapy, as it's commonly practiced, is a process. It's a journey that often takes months or years, involving repeated conversations, uncovering layers of trauma, cognitive reframing, and slow emotional integration. This long, steady process helps build trust, understanding, and insight. But it also means that progress is gradual. Therapists have been trained to guide their patients through this incremental path, balancing care with time. Enter this brain hack. Unlike traditional therapy, which mostly engages the mind through talking and intellectual processing, this technique reaches the brain on a much deeper, more primal level. It taps into the body's nervous system, rewiring responses without needing to unpack every thought or memory. It bypasses the mind's chatter and goes straight to the root of emotional tension that's locked in the body. Because it moves so quickly, it can produce profound shifts after only a few minutes of practice. People report feeling calmer, more focused, and even liberated from anxiety or stress patterns that previously took months of therapy to address. Imagine unlocking relief in a single session instead of dozens. Imagine resetting your emotional state instantly instead of over time. This kind of efficiency, though incredibly powerful, can make traditional therapy methods feel slow and, in comparison, outdated. Some therapists felt threatened by this. If a simple, body-focused hack can deliver results that take years of talk therapy to achieve, what does that mean for their role? It challenges the entire framework of psychological treatment. It challenges the idea that you need to understand every detail of your trauma before healing can happen. It challenges the emphasis on intellectualizing feelings rather than experiencing them. Because the technique is straightforward, it also doesn't require a licensed professional to guide it. Anyone can learn it and apply it themselves. That's another reason why it was sidelined. It democratizes healing. It puts power back into the hands of individuals instead of the professionals who traditionally act as gatekeepers. It's not that therapists are unwilling to accept new tools. Many are excited by advances in neuroscience and mind-body medicine, but there is institutional inertia. Established systems resist change, especially when it threatens revenue streams or professional authority. When something disrupts the status quo so radically, it often gets pushed to the margins or dismissed until the wider culture catches up. Another reason it was banned is because it requires a shift in mindset, not just from therapists but from patients. It demands discipline and willingness to face discomfort directly. It's not a quick fix or a distraction technique. It's an invitation to confront your internal state fully and physically. This can be intimidating and unfamiliar in a culture that prefers quick answers and external solutions. Yet, the undeniable truth remains. This hack taps into the body's natural ability to heal itself. It resets the nervous system, calms the mind, and rewires emotional patterns without needing to relieve trauma or endlessly dissect thoughts. This rapid transformation is why it's often met with resistance, but also why it's so incredibly valuable. In short, it was banned because it works too well, too quickly, too deeply, and too simply, shaking the very foundation of how we think about mental health treatment. And now, the secret is out. At the core of this powerful brain hack lies a deceptively simple yet profoundly effective practice: mind-body synchronization. This is not just some abstract concept, but a tangible method, a precise combination of breath, movement, and focused attention that has been quietly refined and used for centuries by monks, warriors, and now modern-day peak performers. The goal? To instantly shift your mental state and bring you into a place of clarity, calm, and heightened awareness. The magic starts with the breath, which is often called the bridge between the conscious and unconscious mind. Unlike your thoughts, which are scattered and hard to control, your breath is always accessible, always present. By deliberately slowing and deepening your breath, you send a direct message to your nervous system. It's time to relax, to stop fighting or fleeing, and to prepare for focus and calm. This breath control is not shallow or hurried. It's deep, slow, and intentional, reaching into the belly and diaphragm to fully engage the parasympathetic nervous system, which governs rest and recovery. Next comes movement. But this isn't random exercise or vigorous activity. The movements are slow, deliberate, and synchronized with the rhythm of your breath. This could be a gentle sway, a slow stretch, or a carefully controlled gesture. The key is the harmony between movement and breathing. When your body moves in tune with your breath, it creates a powerful feedback loop. Your mind notices the smooth flow, and your nervous system tunes into the rhythm, reinforcing a state of balance and presence. Focus is the final piece. It's not enough to just breathe and move, you must also direct your attention with intention. This means anchoring your awareness on the sensations of breath and movement without distraction. You become fully embodied, feeling every inch of your body as it moves and breathes. Your mental chatter fades, replaced by the vivid immediacy of the present moment. This kind of focused awareness grounds you and creates a mental space where transformation can occur. This triad, breath, movement, and focus, has been practiced for millennia in various traditions. Monks have used it to deepen meditation and attain higher states of consciousness. Warriors have employed it to stay calm and sharp in the chaos of battle. Today, athletes, performers, and executives use variations of this practice to quickly center themselves before high-pressure situations. It's a universal hack for rewiring the brain state. The beauty of mind-body synchronization is that it doesn't require special equipment, a coach, or a long-time commitment. You don't need to analyze your emotions or dissect your thoughts. Instead, you activate a natural physiological mechanism that shifts your brainwaves from chaos to coherence, from stress to calm. Within minutes, your body's internal systems realign, reducing anxiety and boosting focus. Science now confirms what ancient practitioners knew intuitively. Synchronizing breath and movement with focused attention stimulates the vagus nerve, a critical nerve that regulates your heart rate, digestion, and stress response. Activating this nerve triggers the relaxation response, calming your brain and body simultaneously. It also enhances neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to adapt and rewire, making this practice not just a temporary relief but a long-term brain upgrade. In practice, this hack is simple yet profound. By consciously breathing deeply, moving slowly, and focusing your mind, you shift from being a reactive bystander to an active controller of your mental state. You gain access to a powerful internal resource, one that reduces stress, sharpens clarity, and increases emotional resilience, all by syncing your mind and body in perfect harmony. Healing often gets trapped in words. Talk therapy asks us to describe what happened, analyze feelings, and understand our trauma intellectually. But the truth is, trauma isn't just a story in your mind. It's stored deep inside your body, in muscle tightness, in your breath, in your nervous system's constant state of alert. This brain hack rewires your brain without relying on words or analysis. Instead, it works directly with the body to dissolve tension and trauma where it actually lives, allowing the brain to follow naturally in the process. When trauma occurs, the body reacts immediately, often before the conscious mind even processes what's happening. Your nervous system floods with stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Your muscles tighten. Your breathing becomes shallow or erratic. These physical responses are the body's attempt to protect you. But when the threat is long past, the body often gets stuck in this heightened state, keeping you locked in anxiety, fear, or emotional pain, even when the mind knows. Traditional therapy focuses on unpacking and understanding these traumatic events through conversation, but that doesn't always release the body's physical hold on trauma. You can talk yourself through pain for years, yet still feel that tension lingering in your chest or shoulders, or notice an unease you can't explain. This technique, instead, flips the process around. It begins with the body, not the story. By using breath and gentle movement, this hack sends calming signals to your nervous system, encouraging it to shift out of fight or flight mode. As your muscles relax and your breath deepens, you dissolve physical tension, the root of emotional blockage. This physiological shift creates space for your brain to process and integrate without resistance. In other words, the body's calming response allows the mind to follow, not the other way around. This is crucial because the brain's limbic system, which governs emotion and memory, is tightly connected to the body's state. When the body is calm, the limbic system can down-regulate its hypervigilance. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for rational thinking and decision-making, can then step in and create new neural pathways. Healing becomes faster because you're not fighting your body's survival instincts, you're working with them. What's remarkable about this method is that it bypasses the need to verbalize every detail of your trauma. You don't have to relive painful memories or analyze your feelings endlessly. Instead, by focusing on breath, movement, and stillness, you directly influence your nervous system and brain chemistry. This produces immediate changes in how you feel and function without the emotional exhaustion that often comes from talking therapy. Over time, these repeated physiological shifts rewire your brain's default responses. What used to trigger anxiety or stress begins to feel manageable. Your nervous system learns to reset itself more easily. Emotional resilience grows. The brain creates new, healthier patterns that support waned superiority rather than fear. This rewiring through body-first work is why many people describe feeling lighter, more grounded, and clearer after just a few minutes of practice. It's not magic, it's biology. The body has an innate ability to heal, but it needs the right conditions. This technique creates those conditions by dissolving tension at its source, allowing healing to flow naturally and swiftly. In essence, this brain hack teaches you to listen to your body, honor its wisdom, and use it as the gateway to healing. By rewiring the brain without words, it frees you from the endless loop of analysis and opens the door to profound transformation. faster, deeper, and more lasting than many realize possible. Recent advances in neuroscience have started to shine a bright light on what ancient practitioners have known intuitively for centuries: the power of breath, movement, and focused attention to transform the brain and body rapidly. This so-called brain hack is no longer just anecdotal wisdom. It is backed by concrete scientific evidence revealing how it activates critical parts of the nervous system to calm the body and sharpen mental focus, often within just minutes. At the heart of this process is the vagus nerve, a major nerve that runs from the brainstem down through the chest and abdomen. It's a key player in the parasympathetic nervous system, which governs rest, digestion, and recovery. When the vagus nerve is activated, it signals the body to shift from a stressed, fight or flight state into a calm, relaxed mode. This state is crucial for healing, emotional regulation, and clear thinking. Scientists have discovered that specific breathing patterns, especially slow, deep, controlled breathing into the belly, stimulate the vagus nerve. This stimulation results in lowered heart rate, decreased inflammation, and reduced levels of stress hormones like cortisol. In essence, activating the vagus nerve helps switch off the body's alarm system and turn on its natural relaxation response. But the benefits don't stop there. This brain hack also influences the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for executive functions like decision-making, self-control, attention, and emotional regulation. When the body is stressed, the prefrontal cortex becomes less active, which is why anxiety and fear often cloud our ability to think clearly. By calming the nervous system through breath and movement, this technique effectively wakes up the prefrontal cortex, allowing us to regain mental clarity and focus. Functional brain imaging studies show that practices involving breath control and mindful movement increase blood flow and activity in the prefrontal cortex. This enhanced activity correlates with improved cognitive function, better emotional resilience, and greater ability to stay present in the moment. Another remarkable discovery involves heart rate variability, HRV, a measure of the variation in time between heartbeats. Higher HRV indicates a healthy, flexible nervous system capable of adapting to stress. Research confirms that this brain hack raises HRV by engaging the vagus nerve, making the nervous system more robust and responsive. What's truly impressive is how quickly these changes can happen. In just a few minutes of mindful breath and movement practice, measurable shifts occur in brainwave patterns, heart rate, and stress markers. This rapid impact makes it an invaluable tool for anyone needing to manage anxiety, improve concentration, or recover from emotional overwhelm on the spot. These scientific findings bridge the gap between ancient wisdom and modern medicine. They explain why this brain hack feels so immediate and effective, because it literally changes how your brain and body communicate. It shifts your physiology into a state that supports calmness, creativity, and control, rather than chaos and fear. As more research continues, the understanding grows that healing and mental performance aren't solely products of what we think, but deeply tied to how we breathe, move, and focus our attention. In summary, neuroscience confirms that this brain hack activates the vagus nerve and prefrontal cortex, calming your body and sharpening your focus in minutes. It's a powerful reminder that the key to mental transformation lies not just in the mind, but in the intricate dance between body and brain. One of the biggest reasons most people won't try this powerful brain hack is its simplicity. In a world saturated with flashy apps, high-tech gadgets, and quick-fix solutions promising instant results, a technique that requires nothing but your breath, your body, and your focused attention feels almost too basic to be true. It lacks the bells and whistles, the entertainment, and the external validation that so many have come to expect. This simplicity paradoxically becomes its biggest barrier, because people tend to distrust what seems too easy. Many are conditioned to believe that real change requires complexity. If it's not complicated, detailed, or technologically advanced, it can't possibly be effective. This belief pushes them toward expensive therapy sessions, fancy meditation gadgets, or elaborate self-help routines. The idea of sitting quietly, paying close attention to your breath, and moving your body in a slow, deliberate way feels underwhelming, almost like doing nothing, but this nothing is actually where profound transformation begins. Another reason people avoid trying it is because it demands discipline and patience, qualities that are harder to cultivate than we realize. The hack requires you to show up consistently, day after day, to practice stillness and awareness. There's no instant gratification or flashy progress bar to track your success. Instead, it asks for quiet commitment to a process that unfolds gradually and subtly, often beneath the surface of conscious awareness. Mastery takes time. It means resisting distractions, silencing the endless mental chatter, and facing uncomfortable emotions that arise when you turn inward. Many prefer to avoid this discomfort by seeking distractions, scrolling on phones, binge-watching shows, or diving into busy schedules. The simplicity of this technique forces you to confront yourself in a way that can feel intimidating or even frightening. Additionally, because it's so internal and self-driven, there's no external validation. No one is monitoring your progress or cheering you on. You have to rely on your own motivation and trust the process without immediate proof. This lack of external feedback can make people doubt whether they're doing it right and easily give up before the real benefits appear. There's also a cultural resistance to slowing down and being still. We live in a society that glorifies busyness and constant productivity. To pause, breathe deeply, and focus inward feels countercultural. It challenges the narrative that success means always pushing forward, always multitasking, always being on. This brain hack invites you to do the opposite, to slow down, to listen, to be present, which can feel uncomfortable or even lazy to some. Fear plays a role too. When you stop distracting yourself and turn inward, you might encounter suppressed emotions or thoughts you've been avoiding. Facing these feelings requires courage and vulnerability. Many would rather keep numbing or avoiding than risk the discomfort of true self-awareness. Ultimately, this brain hack asks for a kind of inner discipline that many aren't prepared for. It asks you to take full responsibility for your own mental and emotional state, without shortcuts or external props. That responsibility can feel heavy. So while the hack is simple, its mastery is anything but easy. That's why most people won't try it. But for those who do, it offers a gateway to deep transformation, clarity, and resilience that no app or technology can replicate. It's a reminder that sometimes the most profound power lies in the simplest acts: breathing, moving, and paying attention. In a world rushing toward complicated solutions and quick fixes, this brain hack stands out for its profound simplicity. A powerful reminder that true transformation often begins with the most basic tools: your breath, your body, and your focused attention. It bypasses endless analysis and long therapy sessions by rewiring the brain through physiology, calming your nervous system, and sharpening your mind in minutes. Though it may feel too simple or intimidating to embrace, this technique holds the key to rapid, lasting change because it works deeply and directly, activating the body's natural healing systems and unlocking your mental clarity. The choice is yours: to keep chasing external solutions or to step inward, master this ancient yet scientifically proven practice, and reclaim control over your mind and emotions. The path to true freedom and resilience lies not in complexity, but in the disciplined simplicity of tuning into yourself. And that power is already within you, waiting to be unlocked.